Today, been living in Thailand now for 4 years. Today I want to talk about what's been going on this last year, what I've learned, actually what I've learned throughout my whole time in Thailand. Good and bad. I do this every year. Today though, we're gonna get on my bicycle. We're headed to Mukdahan. That's why I look like I'm about to direct traffic. But it ought to be a fun day. Just want to talk to you guys about my successes and my failures living here in Thailand and what's next for me. Okay, I'm all set. I know you're wondering if it's like freezing cold here in Thailand. The sun's no joke, so sitting in the sun for a couple hours, it's not for me. I don't know how some of these guys I see riding bikes in Thailand wearing like either no shirt or a tank top. Maybe their skin's tougher than mine, I have no idea, but getting sunburn's no fun here. Safety first, right? Well, right now we are in Tapanom, headed down what I call the river road. This road is not the main road. The main road's actually a lot more smoother and easier, but this is more scenic. A little less traffic, but as you can see, it's not the safest because there's not really a shoulder, you know? But we're gonna take the scenic route today. And this road will take us all the way to Mukdahan. We've got about a 52 kilometer ride to get to our destination today. Gonna take my time, stop a little bit. So what do you call? And yeah, maybe if we see something interesting, we'll stop, take a look. Before I start today's video, I want to get a little bit kind of out of the town, a little busy here right now at the moment. So once we get out and I can video a little bit more for you guys. This bridge has been closed for months now. They kind of condemned it. So I see somebody finally doing something here. Gonna be interesting how they're going to do this. Probably, you know, like build a bridge next to it and then slowly start to tear this one down. This is going to be a long video, so I want to get to the point. For those, shit, a bug just went right in my fucking hat. Hang on. God dang it. Little bastard, look at that. A stink bug. I don't want an extra passenger in my hair. Yeah, hello. This is a tight road, so. Most everybody's seen at least one of my videos. I have about over 1,000 videos published on YouTube. Most of them are about Thailand. I want to talk about the success that I feel I have and like to share with living permanently here in Southeast Asia, in Thailand. First, I want to tell you, first and foremost, to be, I think, successful in anything is you have to have successful people around you. You have to have a mindset in a positive direction and know that you're going to fail. But, you know, you got to pick yourself up, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. Once you give up and become a victim, it becomes really hard to start over again. I'm not saying everybody that's had mishaps is a victim, but a lot of people, they have mishaps and it's difficult for them to get through them. You know, and then they make up too many excuses. That's what I'm saying about a victim. So I have right now pretty much a really good scenario that I've kind of picked out for myself. You know, a lot of the decisions I've made coming to Thailand were based on my scenario here. Wasn't 100% sure how it was going to work out, but you know, that is life, right? You never really know what's going to happen, and if you think you do, you know, it's only going to affect you to not give it a try, right? It only hurts you. But my main reason for success is I have a perfect companion. Now, Paige is she's very easy, very outgoing, always happy, and you know, it's a good balance for me. So I'm fortunate enough to have found a mate that is compatible with me, somebody that can deal with me and I can deal with her, and we can just take things as they come. Another reason for my success for being here is that she has a wonderful family, wonderful parents. Living in that house isn't, you know, it's not like it makes my life so much easier because we're living with my wife's family, you know. But they're awesome. I really enjoy their company, and I don't know, it would be so much boring, I think, living in a home without them, because it's, I don't know, they make me happy, I make them happy. But you know, all this being said is, you know, you get what you give. So if, you know, not a lot of people are going to try to, Swadee Kap. And not a lot of people are going to try to want to make you happy if you're not a happy person yourself. So you gotta love yourself and be happy with yourself in order to be surrounded by people that make you happy, right? Some people assume that I have it easy in Thailand because I'm living like rent-free and I don't have any responsibilities and I can live here cheap and everybody's taking care of me. And I guess I can see that, you know, but I'm not an ass. I take good care of the people that are around me because I want everybody to be happy so I can be happy. I don't pay for everything in our house, but I'm not a freeloader. Fortunately, my in-laws have enough money to take care of themselves. I don't think I can live in a situation where I got somebody's hand out to me all the time for money. I don't see how anybody could possibly live in that situation unless you just had endless pockets. But even if I did, or I do, I'm not that type of person to keep giving and giving and giving. And Paige is worse than me. She's very frugal about that. And if her family was like that, you know, things would be different for us in Thailand. So, but I'm fortunate that her dad hates the fact that I give them money. Well, he's okay now, but at first he hated it. So I wanted to give them at least, you know, I give them like 5,000 baht a month. And I give it to my mother-in-law, and she just kind of buys food and whatever she wants with it, right? Kind of like her spending money, but she spends it back on food and cooks for us and all that too. So, but so that's that. So just to let you know that I'm not a freeloader, and you know, you have to be, I don't want to be a burden. So that kind of makes my scenario work, living with the family, because I don't know, I've never had a problem living there. So I'm fortunate that's a lot of the success that I have in Thailand is based on Paige, and not so much her family, but our living condition. So we spend most of our time traveling. Usually I'm home for about a week, and I'm telling Paige, let's figure it out, our next trip, right? So, because that's what we love to do, is just travel. And our living condition is perfect for that, because we don't really have any responsibility. So that's the next part of my success, I think, is to be very flexible. And the reason we're doing this is because we don't have any really major commitments, right? Other than I have to, you know, I have to maintain whatever's required of me to live in Thailand as far as immigration stuff, you know. That's really my only commitment here. So it's easy when I don't have, we don't have kids. We don't have our own house that's empty when we travel that we have to worry about. We don't really have anything. We don't have pets. Paige has fish, but we don't have a lot. And this isn't a voiceover, by the way. So I'm kind of out of breath a little bit. I've only gone 6 kilometers. Usually it takes me about 10 to kind of catch my breath. I'm going at about 22 kilometers per hour. And that's because I'm talking. One thing about driving here or riding a bicycle, it's never boring. There's always things to look at on the side of the road. I don't know what this is. It's like the makings of a future temple, I think. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but they've got this log here and 2 half mannequin statues wearing dresses. It's kind of strange, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, I like to stop and look at these things, and if there's people in there, sometimes I'll go in there and talk to them, but not today. I'm talking to you. But I find that living over here without a lot of commitments makes it easy. So whatever's going on around me has very little effect. So imagine if I lived in a subdivision somewhere, and you can't have that in Thailand, gated communities, nice homes, and whatever's happening in my province, you know, I'm like affected by it because I'm anchored into this province, and I'm affected by whatever it is, you know, burning season, political change of hands in the province, whatever it is, you know. So right now we don't really care about what's going on because it doesn't affect us. You got to find something to do if you're going to live here permanently in Thailand. One of my successes is I started a YouTube channel prior to moving to Thailand, and it's been keeping me pretty busy ever since. So basically just sharing everyday life along with our travels. So it's been very entertaining for me, and I know it's been entertaining for most of my viewers. Some of them let me know that, and I appreciate that. And it's a good feeling to be able to help people see a different part of the world and maybe help them make a decision to do something better for themselves, or be able to live, you know, through our adventure too, because they're not able to do that for whatever reason that they have. So it's rewarding for me to be able to do this still, you know, be a part of something and have something to do as well. If I didn't have the YouTube channel, people ask me, what would I do? You know, well, I would just do what I always do. We'd travel, I exercise, and I don't know, I'm not a type of person to sit still at all, period. A lot of people are worried about when they retire what are they going to do? You know, they can't just sit around and do nothing. Well, I understand that. I can't either. So you just have to find something enjoyable. I mean, you don't know what that is right now because you're consumed in whatever you're doing in your life. But retirement's not for everybody. My father still works. That's what he wants to do, right? Only do what makes you happy. But if you're going to if you're going to retire anywhere, you got to have a hobby. So I bought this bicycle, you know, and it was like, at first it was like, well, I just bought it so I could kind of ride around the town and get used to like driving on the left-hand side of the road, right? And it was getting me out of the house. But I found out later that, man, I really enjoy the bicycle. Who would have ever thought I'd go riding 200-300 kilometers a week on a bicycle in the heat of Thailand, right? On the crazy roads of Thailand. But anyway, it is like my meditation. I don't typically like to make videos while riding a bicycle because it just takes the fun out of it for me, and I like to have my me time too. Today I'm a pretty flexible person. I'm pretty easy. When I see something, I don't try to super analyze it, you know, gotta figure it out. It's all still new to me here. So that I'm a very curious person, so that is another thing I love about living here is the new experience, learning a new language. I'm still very curious about Thailand and traveling all around. We've been almost everywhere in Thailand. Put 140,000 kilometers on our SUV, and yeah, it's been super fun. I think you really have to be extremely flexible to be in a relationship with a person from another culture, country, religion, background, and to go move in a country on the other side of the planet, for me anyway. You know, you can't expect things to be like you're accustomed to. You can't expect people to think like you think, do things like you would typically do. It's a real big waste of energy, and it really brings a lot of mental stress whenever you start trying to do comparisons, because things are not the same. Nothing is the same here, so you have to be able to adapt and deal with the conditions around you and not try to change it, because it'll definitely eat you up. In the future, me and Paige have plans to stay somewhere long term other than Thap Phnom. Thap Phnom is nice, relaxing, peaceful, not too many tourists. Well, not too many Falang tourists, I should say. And the food's good for me. The temperature's good up there on the river. But you know, the house that we live in is actually my wife's house. It's her house. So we don't have any thoughts, not that we haven't talked about it, of building another home somewhere else in Thailand. It doesn't make sense for us. So we're not doing that. But I would like to go somewhere sometime long term. I don't know where that is quite yet. We both love the ocean, so we both love the water. So we probably would stay like somewhere in Pratua, somewhere in the Gulf of Thailand, most likely, you know, for 2, 3, 4 months out of the year. That is our goal for the future, whenever we feel like we're interested in doing that, right? We don't really have a time limit, time frame. But we are considering doing that at one point. I think it's very important, if you move to Thailand, is not try to settle settle in somewhere permanently. I don't think that's good for you in Thailand because things change so much. But what I do think it's important to have a permanent, like a permanent residence. So if you you found a condo somewhere, you could rent it for the year, keep your stuff there, and then travel around Thailand, and then find yourself back at your permanent residence. And then, you know, if you get burned out on your permanent residence, you can move it somewhere else. But it's important for immigration reasons to have, if you're going to be living here like retired, you have to have a permanent address somewhere. Plus, dealing with one immigration it makes it easier. For me, it's really been super easy immigration this year. Actually, immigration's been pretty easy. You can see some of my earlier videos. I was a little stressed out about that, but it wasn't because it was difficult. I don't understand why they don't buy a lawnmower. I don't know. That's one thing I don't understand, because they do sell them here, even riding lawnmowers. What the hell was I talking about? Immigration. Hang on, let me climb this hill. Just kidding. Usually when I'm walking around, I always have the microphone attached to my collar, so it always sounds like I'm out of breath because it's right up against my throat. So right now probably sounds like I'm having a heart attack. My scenario is I come here to live, like long term. Like I sold everything I own back in America to come live permanently a lifestyle of, I guess you could say, kind of like a gypsy, right? It's not a lifestyle. It wasn't like that was my goal in life or anything I had planned out. You know, I never thought in my life that this would be like what I'd be doing at 52 years old. You know, we all find ourselves like, you know, at the top of our career, you know, with all of our possessions, right? But I tell you, it was the best choice I ever made in my entire life to liquidate. And you guys have heard the story how I got my money and, you know, what I did to get here. I'm not going to keep going through that again, you know, but I don't have a pension. I don't have a disability check. I don't have money coming in from the government, period. Everything I got is from hard work, investments, and making the right choices. And the biggest thing was gambling on a few things, like opening up a business. When one was failing, I'd open up another one to keep the other one going, and just not interested in failing. Well, I shouldn't say that. I failed a lot, but I was only interested in achieving my goal, and that was to make enough money to live the rest of my life at an early age. So, I mean, I couldn't live a lifestyle in America with the money I have. It wouldn't happen. It would be gone in probably less than 15, 20 years. It would be just maybe less. So living in Asia, I'm able to have a simple, carefree, I don't give a shit, you know, lifestyle. But anyway, back to immigration. So I have enough money here in Thailand that I don't keep all my money here. Never keep all your money. You guys are grown-ups, you know that. Never put all your eggs in one basket, right? So all of my money mostly is in America, and not all in one account either. And not all of my money is here in one account also in Thailand. But I do have one account that I use for my immigration, because that's what immigration recommended me do when I got here. They said, open an account up in your name, keep over 800,000 baht in the account, and there won't be any question. Actually, that's not true, because I came here initially on a marriage visa. So it was 400,000 baht is all I needed to really have in there. But I always kept over 1 million baht. I don't know why that seems like such a lot of money. I guess it does if you don't have it, right? But here's the thing, and I get this all the time on my channel, like I'm some kind of spoiled rich kid that fell into a friggin' lottery ticket that I found on the friggin' road and I won, you know? I mean, some people don't want to make the sacrifices, I think, to be successful. Not that they can't, they just don't want to. And then they want to say the people that are successful got there by luck. But I think people that are successful know that's bullshit. So anyway, I kept 1 million baht over here, which was like, at the time, it was like 28,000. The exchange rate was like 36 when I brought a bunch of money over here from America. And I'm going about 38 kilometers per hour, so I'm trying to not lose my breath. So I keep about 1 million baht in an account over here, so there's no problem. And we use that account for our everyday expenses. And then when I need to add more, I'll add it usually from another account here, because right now the exchange rate is not good. I haven't sent money over here from America in a couple of years now. So my immigration, you know, told me to switch to a retirement visa when I turned 50, because when I came here, I just turned 47. So now that I did that, I went to immigration for a few months on my 90-day check-in, which was not a big deal, other than I had to make sure I was back in Thai Phnom, you know, at that time to do my 90-day check-in, which it's okay if you don't travel and you live permanently somewhere. But for me, it was a pain in the butt because I had to schedule around that. Even though it only took like 10-15 minutes to get the stamp, you know, the 90-day check-in at my immigration. So anyway, they told me that I could do it online, and she showed me how to do it, and now I don't even have to go to immigration, which is awesome. I just go on their website, and I've shared this 100 times on how to do it. If you need to know, just leave a message down below and I'll send you the link. But I just go online and do it from anywhere. I think I just did it from Koh Chang. So, but anyway, I don't have to go to immigration now, only to do my extension. And with the retirement extension, usually it's the same day. If everybody's there who needs to be there to sign off on it, it'll take about less than 2 hours. So my immigration experience, and I hear this so much about, oh, it's so hard to deal with immigration and they don't want you there and this and that. I personally can't relate to that, because everybody's always been super nice, and I only deal with them now a couple hours out of the year. So how if it was any easier, I would be a Thai citizen, I think. I think they still have to deal with the government too, you know, when they got to get their ID renewed or whatever. So having a permanent resident, having money is definitely a plus. But you know, if you're going to retire, retirement to me means to be self-sufficient, which means you don't have to depend on anybody but yourself. You have enough funds. And I think that's what, I think Thailand expects that too. I think that's their definition also, is that you have enough money. But if you don't, you know, there's all kinds of ways to come to Thailand. You don't have to get a retirement visa. You could come here. Well, I don't know what's going to be next as far as immigration rules of tourism, but used to be able to come easily 90 days, 2 times a year, not back to back, but you could stay in Thailand 6 months without any kind of long stay visa. That's just a tourist visa. Either way, there's still agencies here. Don't let nobody BS you. And immigration knows about them, and immigration will also, certain areas, especially in Pattaya, they will push you to these agencies because it's easier for the immigration there to deal with these agencies than it is with the foreigners. So all you got to do is spend 25,000 baht, which is under $1,000 US, and go pay a friggin' agency to deal with your, you know, with your immigration crap. The only problem is you may have to go out of the country every 90 days to do your check-in because you don't have any money in Thailand. So you got to do a little extra. But anyway, up to you, I guess. If you're going to be retired, try to have some money to take care of yourself. Most people have homes or cars or something they can sell to get up some cash on top of whatever they've got coming in monthly. Not everybody, but you know, a lot of people over the age of 50 have acquired some things of value. All right, I just climbed the steepest hill on this little run. This is Gangkapao. I'll take you guys in here. Usually when we have guests come over, like friends of the family or something, we take them here. And this is a nice place to sit on the river, have some good Isan lunch with beautiful scenery. But another thing that made me kind of successful living in Thailand was learning the Thai language. And being able to read and write Thai is definitely a plus. So when you can speak their language, it makes it a little bit more comfortable living here. So typically they don't know what to think of you. They're like, why are you here? Why aren't you back home in your country where you have more opportunity? Government takes care of you, and you know, it's like streets of gold, right? But Gangkapao, Sala A, Gok Gai, Mai To, Ngongu, Gok Gai, Sala A, Ball by Mai, Sala Ao, Gangkapao. But you see how they spell it in English? This is where they screw us. Gangkapao. It's not a K, it's G, Gok Gai, Gangkapao. But people have told me that wherever they come from, that they say Gangkapao. But where I come from, K is like K, like king, Kit Kat, right? Not king or Kit Kat. So I think they're full of shit. Anyway, let's take a quick look. All we got's time anyway, right? Beautiful, isn't it? self-service gas station. One good thing about riding through here, if you want to stop and get a snack or coffee or real coconut water, it's easy to find. So my suggestion is to try to learn as much Thai as possible. So if you're coming to Thailand and you're only hanging out in an area where there's only Phalangs, friends that speak your language, then you really don't get involved with understanding Thailand, with knowing the culture and this and that. And I've met a lot of people that live their lives in these bubbles in Thailand, and they tend to be very negative about what's going on around them because they don't understand. Well, they only have a one-sided, secondhand opinion from amongst themselves that they can all agree on, right? They don't have a basic understanding of the culture or the language to really kind of to try to be positive about anything. So it's not healthy. Learning Thai is one of the most difficult things I've ever done. And right now I speak like a 4-year-old, but I can communicate. I can go on these long bike rides for a couple of days and get everything I need in Thai, because I don't, very rarely out here you'll run into somebody that wants to speak with you in English. However, a lot of them can, I'll say. They're not comfortable. They're not comfortable speaking English, so they don't. But once you get to know them, you know, then that's all they want to do is try to learn from you. But part of my success is that I'm able to read. I'm able to read in Thai. I can write Thai perfect. I can understand a lot, but I speak enough to get by. The problem is I think too much in English because of you guys. Because of the YouTube channel, I think so. And Paige only speaks to me in English. And one thing about me is I don't really have the need. I never had the need to like be with other people. Like I've always been good about hanging with myself. This road sucks here, so the camera might be a little jumpy. For some reason, there's a few stretch that are all concrete and they're not level. But anyway, I've never had the urge to like, I need to go somewhere, but I gotta have somebody go with me. I can't go by myself, you know? So I've always had a lot of friends, and I've always liked to go do things with my friends, but I've also enjoy and I'm comfortable with myself and I'm happy with myself. And you gotta have that also to be successful, you know? A lot of people that watch my channel, they can't relate to that. They don't, you know, they call you a narcissist. They call you all these things because they can't really relate to that personality, I guess. But I'm very confident and I'm comfortable with myself because I'm comfortable and I'm confident because I have failed many times and I've had the strength to get up and become successful. So I know what it's like to fail, and I know what it's like to try hard and achieve. That's just so unnecessary, you know? I know what it's like to try hard and achieve a goal. So that's another thing is for me, I'm not afraid to I wasn't afraid to sell everything I own, sell my business, and move to another country with the possibility of failing, you know. I wasn't afraid of that because I knew I could go back and start over and do it again if I wanted to. I knew if it didn't work out here, that I was gonna figure it out. I wasn't gonna let somebody like a culture or an American dream, I wasn't gonna let it dictate my little short life as a whole that means nothing to nobody but myself and the people around me. Because really, in the end, nobody gives a crap about all your successes, your things, your achievements. Nobody really cares. You know, when you get old and everybody, your family's got their family and everybody's busy, they just kind of leave you to the side, you know? Like, nobody really cares. I haven't never reached that point, but I know a lot of people that have told me that. And they realize later on in life that there's just, all they got left is them, you know? And they don't have enough strength, not enough money to do anything for themselves at this point, you know? And they wish they would have done something at an earlier age. But anyway, I kind of realized those things early in life, which I was thankful that I'm the type that I can kind of sit back and kind of analyze, is this right for me? You know, does this make sense? I don't understand that. Anyway, this is a big, massive church here. I've taken you guys here a bunch. I'll share a video up above here. The last time I came here, I think, was with Joe and Gift. Went inside. I was kind of hoping, and I forgot that it's still 2 months before Christmas, but this whole town right here is a lot, mostly everybody's Christian. A lot of Vietnamese here, you know, is a reason for that. But over here on this, where this big church is, they have a bunch of like a big festival, a bunch of tents selling stuff. And we'll come back here later on and check it out. That's a big church right there too. But usually everybody's got Christmas decorations all over the place. They have a big parade. The biggest one in Thailand is Sakon Nakhon, which is 70 kilometers west of here. And they are the biggest community of Christians. And maybe because they're mostly Vietnamese. And maybe that's why they were big on eating dogs there too. That's another story. Very loud in that little section. I should have left the camera going. Everybody's just kind of partying, hanging out, barbecuing. It's Monday. I'm not really sure what they're partying about, but that's Thailand. Somebody made a comment to me the other day, how come nobody's at work? That used to be some of my thoughts too when I first got here. Why is everybody sleeping and not doing crap, you know? Well, they don't have really government handouts here like most Western countries do for people that are poor, or disabled, or whatever. So they do have to do something for money. It's just that their necessities and their needs are not as great as people in the West. So they don't really think too much about having a bunch of crap and overhead and bills. And now, does that happen in Thailand? Definitely yes. Bangkok is a whole different beast. You gotta be a little aggressive to live in Bangkok. Most people. Bangkok is huge. It's like a gigantic concrete jungle, and you gotta work. Things are expensive. But anyway, beautiful out here, isn't it? It's not super hot, but it's supposed to be getting cooler now. Right now it is November the 2nd. Yes, tomorrow is election day in America, but it's also high season in Thailand, which is not high season anymore. A lot of people ask me, why don't I talk about the current events, what's going on with when people can start getting back to Thailand. I don't know. I think there's a whole bunch of people on the internet right now covering that. I've never really been that guy. And things are changing so much, and there's nothing definite. But you know, I've gotten to a few lengthy conversations with people on the internet. But you know, here's the thing. In a nutshell, tourism is mostly from the neighboring countries. China being most of the tourism comes from China. So what do you think's going to happen? You know, have some common sense, right? The Western population doesn't cover like 20%, less than 20% of the tourism comes from the West, from European, America, Canada, Russia, all combined is less than 20%. The total GDP from tourism in last year, in 2019, was 18% of the country's GDP for 2019. So tourism doesn't drive Thailand, but what happens is when you don't have tourism, and it's only common sense, I think, is that you know, it trickles down. So you know, those people have to buy products. They have to, you know, they have to hire people to do laundry, to do maintenance. They have to buy gas. They have to buy food. They have to buy furniture. There's a need for things to operate the tourist industry that is being affected as well. So things trickle down, and I think it affects more than 18% if you keep it shut down for as long as it has. And it's hitting Thailand hard right now. So yeah, talking about the epidemic that we're having, it's a global crisis. People can only really relate to it in their situation from where they're from. And I made the mistake at the beginning, really kind of talking about it, and you know, like nonchalantly, you know, everything is so easy here. You know, that's what everybody was getting from me, but I was only sharing my experience. I regret talking about it. I've lost quite a few friends, you know, not close friends, just people that I've met, you know, through the YouTube channel, maybe come by the house or whatever, because their situation is different than mine. So for me, it's not really a big loss. It's, you know, it's up to them. I mean, we're all grown up, so we just move on. And yeah, I'm only entertainment to them anyway. But I regret saying some of the things that I said because I was only sharing it from my situation, right? And I came off as being an asshole and inconsiderate, but that's not what I was intending to do. So, but like I said, this is just my entertainment. This is my YouTube channel, but I do affect some people in real life. Like, you know, a lot of people have moved here and sold all their crap and come to me, and a grown-ass man giving me a hug with a tear in his eye, telling me how much he appreciates that, you know, and that's like, you know, this is real life shit here, you know. So anyway, enough about that. The YouTube channel is not keeping me here in Thailand. The YouTube channel is not financing my life in Thailand. When I came here, the YouTube channel had less than about 1,000 subscribers, which I quickly lost. Let me make sure this is still on. Which I quickly lost when they realized that I wasn't traveling around in a travel trailer anymore, and they didn't give a crap about Thailand. But I think I made like, YouTube only pays out after you reach $100. So I was hitting that $100 mark every 2 to 3 months. So I wasn't like, oh shit, let's move to Thailand and be a digital nomad, you know, and live off of the internet. That's a gamble right there, right? Who the hell? I mean, there are people that do that and they're successful. They make a crap load of money, you know, but hey, they're entertainers. They've got something to say and people want to hear it. So good for them, you know, good for them. I'll tell you right now, and you guys know this because I have a lot of people that send me money all the time because they appreciate the content, they appreciate what I show about this lifestyle in a different part of Thailand, and I don't know why. They just feel like they've got to give me something in appreciation. I had a difficult time with that at first, but somebody helped me understand that, and yeah, it's awesome. But the money that I'm making from YouTube right now is actually financing most of our travels, which is good because I don't have to take that out of our budget. So I'm actually saving money, which is awesome. But you know, it just happened because I enjoy the YouTube channel. I'm just showing myself. I'm not really trying. When I try to make videos, they suck. It's hard to do those videos about facts and, you know, that they're hard to do because the facts are only from my opinion, right? The only facts is we're gonna die. Facts are like still somebody's opinion, how they see things. And I don't like to do those videos. But anyway, it's paid off, so I'm making some decent money now and able to travel on the YouTube channel. If for whatever reason I had to stop the YouTube channel, then it wouldn't cause me to want to leave Thailand. It wouldn't cause me to have a horrible time here and think about, oh, I've got to go home because I need to go back to work, you know. Yeah, I'm just kind of really blessed that you guys are interested in hearing me blah blah blah. It's probably been like 30 minutes already me friggin' talking and I haven't even gotten to Mukdahan yet. I just hit 27 kilometers. That puts us about halfway. I don't know what the hell that was. About halfway there. Feeling pretty good. I haven't been on really too many bike rides this year after traveling because it's been raining a lot. And right now the road to Nakhon Phanom, they're doing a lot of construction. They're putting in new drainage, so the road is really, really dirty with that red clay. I actually went there a couple of weeks ago. Man, I look like a wet turd when I got to Nakhon Phanom. It's been really easy for me this year in Thailand. When I say me, I mean me and Paige also. But this YouTube channel is mostly about me and no time to be sad. But it's also about my family, my Thai family and my wife too. But when I always talk about me, I mean, this is the channel that I'm sharing with you guys that's about my life and my journey. So that's why sometimes I say me and I a lot, is because it's really about, it's about one man's life journey to just try to find peace and happiness with just the things that are important to me and not important to a job or you know, a career or things or other people that I have to feel like I need to impress. It's just about a journey I want to share with you and show you that this is a good way to finish off your life. So anyway, that's the reason why I do that. But it's been really easy for me because there's been like no tourists here, and not just Valang, but Chinese. And you know, you got to be careful what you say on the internet. Well, you don't really, it doesn't really matter what you say on the internet. Who gives a crap? You know, people are going to get their feelings hurt no matter what. But if I say, oh, has there been any Chinese, like, like I have something like I really don't like Chinese people because I'm happy that they're not here. You know, people get that, they think that, oh, I'm just an asshole. I don't like Lao people or Chinese people or Falang, you know, they're so sensitive about things. So anyway, up to you. It doesn't affect me, just you. So anyway, yeah, so it's been quiet. It's been easy to get around. If you travel a lot and you're around tour buses full of Chinese people, then you kind of got an understanding of what I'm talking about. But I love to go to China. And one day all this shit will be over with. And I want to spend some time there. I think that'd be really kind of a cool experience. But I don't know if I like it or not, but I think it'd be cool to do the adventure. But things have been really inexpensive here. And, you know, at first it's like everybody was so happy to see me spending money, you know, like, oh, we've got a customer. And it's been wonderful. And the beaches have been getting cleaner. But the beaches are usually always empty in Thailand anyway because, well, outside of the tourist areas, because Thai people typically don't like the sun. They don't want to be dark. So, the places have run specials. The government, once things started, you know, we had a shutdown for about, really couldn't do anything for about 2.5 months, maybe less. But then the government started to put out some money, like to stimulate the economy by trying to give people incentives to travel with money and vouchers and that they can get on a mobile app. And anyway, the ones that knew how to do it did it, and Paige was able to do that, and her families are signed up to it also. So yeah, so not only is it inexpensive, there's discounts available inside, and it's just been super easy for me. And a lot of people are super jealous of that, which is definitely understandable. You guys want to be here now, and you can't, and then you're not certain about what restrictions and rules are going to be coming up. It's just so much uncertainty, but it's not just Thailand, right? But I've had a lot of viewers watching my YouTube channel because of not being able to travel here. And it's just been, it's been a benefit for me and Paige, really. And I'm hoping, what I tried to tell you guys earlier in the year was to take this time, if possible, to save some money, to get your finances right. This is for people that also want to travel here, you know. You can stay here a little bit longer next time because you'll have more money. But try to think positive. And I think a lot of that, people get upset with me, is the way I talk and the way I do things, is I try to look at things in a positive way, and I've done that forever in my life, and a lot of people don't like that. I think it's because they like to be around people that have more problems than them, right? They don't like Mr. No Time to Be Sad, positive about everything, you know. Why don't you trip on a rake and break your face, right? I get it, but I don't care really, to be honest with you. So I think a lot of people don't like that. Anyway, I don't know why I'm rambling on about that. The YouTube thing is my entertainment, but I'm so consumed with people trying to dictate to me how I should be, and it's funny. You can't talk about religion, politics, diets, you know, diseases. Because people are like, this is how you do it. This is the only diet that works. This is the only religion, you know. But it's just the internet. It's just a computer screen. It's not even reality. Well, my battery went dead. I'm pretty sure that I just talked too much and I wore the battery out because I thought I charged it, but I have another battery so I can keep talking, right? Anyway, it's probably a good thing. I was talking about how people are so sensitive on the internet when it comes to not sharing an opinion with somebody, right? We're not allowed to think differently anymore, but probably better off that it shut off. Okay, we are 35 kilometers. We've got about another 20 to go. So let's get to Mukdahan. I'm gonna pick up the pace and try to get there pretty quick because I've been kind of going a little slow and talking too much. Imagine that. Mekong. I've had a few people that I guess they've never been to Thailand or never been around the Mississippi River or anything to see. Maybe they're from Colorado or something, I don't know. But why is it so dirty? Do you really think that brownish water is just flowing through the Mekong River that goes all the way comes from the Himalayas? You think it's all like dirt, like trash? Like how much friggin' trash would it actually take to make a river the size of the Mekong turn that brown? Do you not have sense, my friend? This is a little runoff going into the Mekong out there. But you know, most people, you don't have to try to explain that the soil is red, like a reddish clay type soil, and when water flows, you know, the soil flows with it, right? Does that make sense? I just hit 40 kilometers. You see that base soil? See that road over there? See this right here? It's all red. That's the color of the sand that's also in the Mekong, which makes the water look brown. A quick bicycling comparison to life. When I'm traveling to, let's say here, Mukdahan or Nakhon Phanom, it's about a 2-hour bike ride. Not a big hurry to go 50, 60 kilometers, but it takes me a couple hours. But if I'm in a hurry to get there, it seems like it takes forever mentally. Like I'm just looking around the next corner, shit. You know, but when I don't think about things and I just let it go, just pedal and just look at the sights, the ground, the activities around me, the flowers, the birds, the sky, it just kind of like I've arrived, like, and it was nothing, no effort, and I get there like in no time. So is life, right? Like if you worry so much about shit, you like make it so impossible for you to achieve your goal. But if you just relax, and this is kind of like the Buddhist mentality too, you know, day to day. If you just relax and let it come, it's easy. So much easy. And I don't have an expectation like I have to be at a place in an hour and 45 minutes. You know, I just let it happen. Anyway, just, I don't know. I just felt like sharing that. Before I forget, an important thing about the relationship between me and Paige. I'm used to being somewhere other than home all day. Like I go to work and then come home, not being around my wife all the time, right? Not that I don't enjoy it, but I need my free time. I feel bad because Paige isn't really that much of an outgoing person to really have a lot of friends here in Thailand. She has nothing in common with her friends that she used to have here in Thailand that still live, you know, in Thap Phnom. So I feel bad sometimes when I take off and go on bike rides, but you know, she's got her family to talk to, and I really don't have anybody, you know, other than Paige. So I get like really bored. So anyway, I've got to have my time, my space. Our relationship wouldn't work out if she wasn't able to give that to me, you know. There's been some times where I've taken off over 3 days, and she's like, yeah, why do you got to stay gone so long, you know? The main reason was because it was raining its ass off, and I didn't have anything to do anyway, so. But for the most part, I usually, you know, I got some friends in Nakhon Phanom. So if I want to go talk to people that speak my language, I go to Nakhon Phanom. I have a few friends in Muk Nahan too. But in Nakhon Phanom, I like to hang out with my friends and drink beer and talk crap. Only one of them's from America, and they all just talk shit about America and me, and it's funny. We have a good time. That's what grown-ups do, you know? Talk about politics and all kind of stuff that we don't agree on. That's what real people do. Anyway, but yeah, she's another reason for success here is I'm able to take off and do things on my own without having a spouse that's like really so uptight that, you know, feels like I have to be in her eyesight all the time, you know. That just wouldn't work for me. Wow, this whole road has been shit the last 4 kilometers. This right here is the bridge that goes to Laos. And the only people that can come over right now are people in trucks bringing goods and taking goods back. They're only allowed to come over here for 6 hours at a time. There's only 2 people allowed in the truck at a time. And yeah, but at least they're able to bring bring supplies back to Laos. I've made a few comments about Laos, and I guess there's some Lao people that get offended, but it only comes from Thai people who tell me that the only good things in Laos come from Thailand, and they're a little bit more expensive. So yeah, I guess that's a little negative to some people, but up to them. There's the bridge, pretty cool, huh? Of course, that's Lao, obviously, right? And there's a coffee shop. Okay, we're almost there. Another about 7 more kilometers. The road is covered in glass and crap. Before I bought these gator skin Continental tires. They're the only tire to have in Thailand. Of course, they're not easy to find inside Thailand. You gotta import them. And they're not cheap. They're like $100 a piece. But man, they are like definitely a lifesaver. I haven't had a flat tire in a long time. Very good tires. Not a sensitive person. A lot of people make comments about me, talking about comments about other people, what they say, that I'm being sensitive and I shouldn't worry about it. But I think it's fun sometimes to talk about the things you guys already know what I'm thinking. I'm telling you, but you know, to talk about some of the things that people think, some of their assumptions, some of their fears, you know, negativity. I think it's good to talk about it because when you come here, you're gonna be surrounded by people wondering why you're here. and most likely not in a positive way. So if you're a sensitive person, you're not going to make it full-time outside of your comfort zone, right? These people that complain and talk shit on the internet, they can't leave their border from their neighborhood. They just talk shit in, you know, their little area. So they're not really relevant to anything, but I think it's important to talk about the fact that people are gonna talk crap about you, not just having a YouTube channel, but in general. Like, Thai people are gonna look at you and you're not gonna know what they're thinking. They're gonna be like staring at you and you're gonna think, oh, what is this guy doesn't like me? They're just kind of wondering, you know, they're wondering, what are you doing here? Why are you here and not in your own country where things are, you know, good? And then other Falangs are going to be looking at you like, you know, what are you here to pick up little girls, or, you know, stuff like that. But if you're sensitive to what people think about you, you know, you're not going to make it here, because if you're fat, they're going to tell you, well, they might tell you you're sexy. Well, they're going to tell you you're fat, you got a big nose, you smell like crap, you're black. You know, they're going to tell you how it is. They're not really into like trying to make you into something you're not, right? So a lot of people don't like to be called Falang, like it's a disrespectful word, you know. And of course in our country it is, because you don't say, hey foreigner, can you know, what do you want to eat? Oh, foreigners here, you know. But that's not, it's not the way it's meant here in Thailand. They use descriptive words for everything. Like, you don't call your mother at home, or you don't call your, I should say, you don't call your neighbor Mother Susie, Mother Ann, or Father, you know, Father John. But here they do. They Paul Red, Mama, Maroon, Nong. I mean, there's a name for everything, so you're also going to get a name. So, yeah, this is not really a safe road. A lot of traffic on this little tiny road. But I still feel safer riding a bicycle in Thailand because there's obstacles everywhere. There's dogs, there's motorbikes, there's kids. There's always something popping out, so most of the time they're looking out for something, unless they're drunk, which that could happen anywhere. A lot of people ask me about dogs, and I know they haven't gotten this far in the video, and they'll ask me sometime probably at the beginning, what do I do about soy dogs? And during the day they're okay. Unless you're walking down a little tight soy where not too many people go down, then there could be a problem, you know. But you know, a lot of people carry treats, and but when you're riding a bicycle 30+ kilometers per hour, you're not going to reach down and grab a treat and, oh, here puppy, you know. You're just not going to do it. You're probably going to eat shit with this dog chasing you, you know. So nighttime it could be dangerous. But I bought this flash. I actually bought this here in Mukdahan, and a lot of people ask me to give them the name, like they got to buy this specific one. Really, all you got to do is Google stun gun flashlight, but it makes that sound, and they don't like that shit. And I've never yet had to zap one, but it's, some of them don't care about the noise, but most of them, they stop as soon as they hear it. And I've got it mounted here on my handlebar, so all I got to do is push a button. It's like 10 bucks. You can get it for like anywhere from 250 baht to 350 baht at any market that sells like little gadgets like flashlights and, you know, little tool accessory crap stuff. Stun gun. Or you can get it on the internet and they can bring it to your house. Buy two because they don't last long. I got a little one I keep in my pocket. I bought it just for Cha'am because there's so many dogs there. I know I'm rambling on and I've lost probably most of my viewers on this video, but one last thing about being successful living in Thailand, and the most important thing is to be flexible, but don't anchor yourself down in Thailand. Give yourself a minimum 6 months, but I would say 2 years to travel around Thailand. Not like me every 2 weeks, but certain areas of Thailand. Discover the culture, the food, the temperature, the mountains, the sea, whatever you want, to be around, and then try to figure out a place, that you'd like to stay long term. Because if you put all your eggs in one basket and it fails, it makes life difficult to try to think about staying any longer in Thailand, So just my only advice to you, and my most success living in Thailand is because I'm flexible. I try to keep my expectations as low as possible. This is a big ass boat. And I try not to let things bother me. Like if I'm having a bad moment, I usually get over it really quick. And, if me and Paige ever get in an argument, and she knows now, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. And then, in a day or two, I forget about it. And that's usually how I am. And when people talk crap to me or people get upset with me, I usually don't remember the conversation like within hours later. I don't know, because it's not really that big of a deal. But I blocked a lot of people from my channel because of I just don't feel like it's necessary. They want to complain about everything. So, yeah. I didn't do that for the puppy. Another one come running out. But they stopped. Nobody got hurt. I forgot what I was talking about. But if your only goal is to share your only situation, and you've been in Thailand for a long time and everything is doom and gloom, but you still live here, I just don't feel like I need your output in my life and my No Time to Be Sad channel. So I usually block those people, not because they disagree with me, but because they're just so negative. And they like to look at things negative first, and like somebody has to prove them otherwise. But once they've been here so long, it's just the way it is for them. There's no changing. So, but normally I forget pretty quick. But I've lost a lot of, I guess you could say friends, but I just met them through the YouTube channel because of some of the ways I think. And yeah, I regret saying some of the things that I've said because our situations are different, but they couldn't respect how I feel too. So, but I'm supposed to respect them, but sometimes it's better off not even talking about it. But it's just a YouTube channel about my life. No time to be sad. We're almost there. Okay, we have arrived in Mukdahan City. This city's pretty big. I'm not going to spend another hour taking you guys all around the town, but it's pretty big. So I'm going to go here, have some lunch, and then think about heading back. Road right now, and I really hope nobody opens their door up on me. I'm pretty sure they're paying attention, right? Hopefully. I brought an extra pair of clothes. That's why I got this backpack on. And I'm thinking about staying the night out here. I told Paige I wasn't 100% sure yet. But it's very hot right now. So, got a cool Triumph. So I think I'll do that. I think I'll go down here. I've stayed at almost every hotel here in Mukdahan. But I do like to ride around the town at nighttime. There's a group of bicyclers that get together late. I don't know if I'm going to share that on this video. It's already been too long. I got to get it on the editing table and see how long it is and what kind of blah, blah, blah I can take out. But let's go quick check in this hotel and see if they've got a room, and we'll see what happens from there. I actually got a pretty late start. I didn't leave the house till later on, and I haven't had lunch at all, but it's almost dinner time actually. I didn't realize how late it was, but I usually leave early, like about, well, when I say early, like before 9, but I left around lunchtime, so I'm not thinking, I wasn't thinking. So whatดีครับมีห้องว่างไหมครับอะไรครับเที่ยงเดียวครับวันเดียวโอเคครับวันนี้ร้อนมากใช่ค่ะร้อนแดดออกตั้งแต่6 โมงเช้าเลยค่ะใช่ Thank you. Okay, we are here. Bed. I've stayed here before a couple times. Bed's okay. Bathroom is okay. And yeah, it's 500 baht, comes with breakfast. I like this place because it comes with breakfast and it has a coffee pot and has a decent balcony here. The problem with this area is there's a couple of bars here and it gets really loud at night, and then they drive really fast on this road. But I try to stay out of the bars here because it's mostly just young Thai people. And young Thai people get weird if they, you know, if you're looking at them wrong or something like that. I just don't want to be I want to be a part of it, but nothing really to do entertaining out here but eat. Been up there before, it's pretty cool. And underneath it, they have a little bit of a museum. But yeah, 500 baht. Let's call Paige. I told her I'd call her as soon as I got here. Hello. Hello.
Wi-Fi?
Yeah, can you see me? No.
No, only see your camera now.
Oh. Oh well. Anyway, I'm here. Can you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Can you see the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, say hi.
Hello.
You look.
Hi.
You look Canadian.
What? Canadian?
You look Canadian. Well, I'm here on the Mekong River, gonna have some lunch here. This is one of my favorite places. I've had this in my video a few times. I ate lunch here with Nick from Eyes of a Thai here, but it's pretty good food and a nice chill atmosphere next to the river. I found a friend here, not really a handsome looking friend, but a friend indeed. I think I bought him some fried pork. Here, you. You're not a husky, so I can't take you home. Well, guys, I'm going to end the video. I know it's been a long video. Thank you guys for everything the past 4 years. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for all the subscribers that have stuck with this channel since the very beginning. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, another year to come. Next year's going to be better, right? All right, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.